This is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.
In the headlines, we begin with a dramatic escalation in the Middle East as U.S. Central Command ramps up its offensive. U.S. forces have intensified strikes on Iranian targets, dealing major blows to Tehran's capabilities. The Pentagon says key command centers are down as Operation Epic Fury enters a critical phase. While Washington pushes forward, Iran's military is rejecting President Trump's 48-hour ultimatum. Tehran vowed a major jihad against U.S. interests and threatened to close the Strait of Hormuz. Officials warn any strike on power plants will trigger a full oil blockade. Beyond the Gulf, a high-stakes aid mission is pushing through to Havana. An international convoy is delivering relief to Cuba despite regional tensions. Organizers say the mission will continue even amid threats of naval interference. From conflict to innovation, China is transforming its highlands with a massive infrastructure project. A new high-altitude bridge and tunnel network now links remote villages to major hubs. The project is boosting trade and growing tourism. Meanwhile, the K-pop world is celebrating a massive comeback. BTS returned to the stage in Seoul, drawing global crowds. The reunion kicks off a new world tour and a social media surge. And finally, the global fuel crisis has hit the sports world. The Pakistan Super League will open without fans. Organizers cite fuel shortages linked to the U.S.-Iran conflict. I'm Andrea Santos. Newsline World starts now. U.S. Central Command says its operations against Iran are intensifying, with officials claiming major setbacks to Iran's military capabilities. Prince Tripoli has the news.
Admiral Brad Cooper, commander of U.S. Central Command, says American forces are now on day 22 of what's being called Operation Epic Fury and remain on track to weaken Iran's ability to project power beyond its borders.
On day 22 of combat operations, U.S. forces continue to take bold action and remain on plan to eliminate Iran's ability to project meaningful power outside its borders.
According to Cooper, the U.S. military recently carried out what he described as the longest field artillery strike in Army combat history, using precision missiles to hit key Iranian military infrastructure.
Just 2 days ago, the U.S. Army launched the longest field artillery strike in Army combat history using precision strike missiles. The strike took out Iranian military infrastructure, demonstrating the U.S. military's unmatched reach and lethality.
He added that over the past 3 weeks, Iran has suffered significant losses.
Iran has lost significant combat capability over the last 3 weeks. We are taking out thousands of Iranian missiles, advanced attack drones, and all of Iran's navy, which they use to harass international shipping. Their navy is not sailing, their tactical fighters are not flying, and they've lost the ability to launch missiles and drones at the high rates seen at the beginning of the conflict.
The U.S. claims it now has air superiority over Iran, with more than 8,000 combat flights conducted so far. These missions include coordinated efforts from fighter jets, bombers, and refueling aircraft to sustain continuous pressure and carry out precision strikes. Despite ongoing offensive operations, U.S. forces are also reinforcing regional defenses. Officials say a large-scale air and missile defense system has been established across the Middle East, developed over years in coordination with allied nations. Meanwhile, U.S. forces continue targeting threats to international shipping, especially in the Strait of Hormuz. In one recent operation, American forces dropped multiple 5,000-pound bombs on a fortified underground facility along Iran's coastline. The site was allegedly used to store anti-ship missiles and monitor maritime traffic. Officials say the strike destroyed not only the facility but also related intelligence and radar systems. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Prince Tripoli, SMNA News.
Meanwhile, Iran's military command has issued a scathing rejection of President Trump's 48-hour ultimatum, vowing to permanently close the Strait of Hormuz and launch a major jihad against U.S. economic interests if Iranian power plants are targeted. More on this from Almar Forsuelo.
The war of words between Washington and Tehran reached a fever pitch on Sunday following a direct threat from President Donald Trump to obliterate Iran's energy grid. Speaking for the Khatam al-Anbiya Central Headquarters, Colonel Ibrahim Zulfagari warned that any strike on Iranian power plants would trigger immediate and relentless retaliation. Zulfagari outlined a 4-point retaliatory plan, including the wide-scale targeting of Israel's IT and energy infrastructure and the destruction of any regional company with American shareholders. He specifically warned neighboring countries hosting U.S. bases that their own power plants would become legitimate targets.
لیکن در صورت عملی شدن تهدیدات آمریکا در خصوص نیروگاه‌های ایران بلافاصله اقدامات تنبیهی انجام خواهد شد. 1. تنگه هرمز به طور کامل بسته می شود و تا نیروگاه‌های تخریب شده ما بازسازی نشوند این تنگه باز نخواهد شد. 2. همه نیروگاه‌های برق، زیرساخت‌های انرژی و فناوری اطلاعات رژیم صهیونیستی به طور گسترده هدف قرار خواهند گرفت. 3. همه شرکت‌های مشابه در منطقه که سهامدار آمریکایی دارند به طور کامل تخریب خواهند شد. 4. نیروگاه‌های برق کشورهای منطقه که میزبان پایگاه آمریکا هستند هدف مشروع خواهند بود. همه چیز برای جهاد بزرگ با هدف نابودی کامل کلیه منافع اقتصادی آمریکا در منطقه غرب آسیا آماده است. ما شروع کننده جنگ نبودیم و اکنون هم شروع کننده نخواهیم بود.
The escalation follows Trump's Saturday post on Truth Social, demanding the full and unthreatened reopening of the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours. Trump also threatened to start by destroying Iran's largest power plant first, as the deadline looms. The conflict, which has already claimed over 1,400 Iranian and 18 Israeli lives, threatens to expand into a total regional energy war. While Tehran insists it was not the initiatory, Zulfagari made it clear that Iran is prepared for relentless destruction of U.S. and allied industrial assets across the Gulf. Reporting for Newsline World, Almar Forsuelo, SMNA News.
Iranian missiles have struck residential areas near Israel's nuclear research center in Dimona, marking a major escalation in the direct conflict between the two nations. As casualties mount in southern Israel, the IDF has formally approved plans to deepen ground operations in Lebanon to isolate Hezbollah from its Tehran patrons. Paul Montibon has the details.
The front line shifted to the heart of the Negev desert on Sunday as Iranian missiles impacted residential neighborhoods in Arad and Dimona. The IRGC claimed the strikes were direct retaliation for an Israeli attack on the Natanz nuclear facility earlier in the day, marking the first time Israel's strategic nuclear center has been successfully targeted. In Arad, 115 people were injured, with 9 in serious condition, while another 60 were wounded in Dimona. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited the strike sites, emphasizing that the home front command's safety guidelines are now orders for a nation that has become a total battlefield.
מי ששומע התראה ושומע אזעקה ונכנס למרחב מוגן או לממד או למקלט לא קורה לו שום דבר. אבל אני לא יכול, את הבניין אני יכול לבנות מחדש. אבל כשנופלים אנשים יקרים, כשאנחנו מאבדים את האנשים, אותם אי אפשר להחזיר. אז אני מבקש כולם למלא, אני קורא לזה לא הנחיות פיקוד העורף, אני קורא לזה פקודות פיקוד העורף. כל העם חזית, כל העורף חזית.
While Israel manages the fallout in the south, a second front is expanding rapidly in the north. IDF Chief of Staff Eyal Zamir has officially approved a deepening of ground operations in Lebanon. General Zamir warned that the campaign against Hezbollah has just begun and that the group will find itself alone and isolated once the primary conflict with the Iranian regime concludes. Israeli strikes have reportedly hit over 2,000 targets in Lebanon, killing hundreds of Hezbollah members. However, the cost of the expansion is high, with over 1 million Lebanese citizens displaced and nearly 1,000 killed in just the last few weeks. Further north in Maalot, emergency crews spent the night clearing debris from 3 direct hits on residential buildings. While no injuries were reported in this specific barrage, the relentless exchange of fire across multiple borders has pushed the Middle East toward a point of no return. With a 48-hour ultimatum on the Strait of Hormuz nearing its end, the IDF is bracing for what it calls a long campaign to remove the threat from its borders once and for all. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Carlo de la Peña, SMNI News.
Meanwhile, an international humanitarian mission aiming to deliver aid and show solidarity with Cuba is underway, despite concerns over risks and geopolitical tensions. Faith Agustin has the news.
A group of activists and volunteers from around the world, including members of the Global Sumud Flotilla, are preparing what they describe as a mission to bring humanitarian supplies to Cuba, a country grappling with urgent shortages of food, medicine, power, and essential resources. Organizers say the mission will involve transporting aid through Mexican and Cuban waters, and that unlike some past operations, they will leave international waters before reaching Cuba's coastline.
Creemos que esta misión es mucho menos riesgosa que la misión a Gaza. Fuimos secuestrados en aguas internacionales. Creemos que esta misión no, porque tenemos que solo navegar por aguas mexicanas y luego por aguas cubanas, no salimos de agua internacional, así que creemos que vamos a estar protegidos y que no va a pasar nada y que vamos a poder llegar a salvo. Pero bueno, nunca hay que descartar la opción. Esta es una misión peligrosa como todas las misiones que se enfrentan al imperio.
The mission's aim, supporters say, is to bring much-needed supplies to Cuban communities that are struggling due to economic hardships and shortages exacerbated by international pressure.
Bueno, la isla se encuentra totalmente sin luz. Nuestros compañeros necesitan recursos, alimentos, medicina y también electricidad, por eso estamos llevando paneles solares y todo para apoyarles lo más que podamos.
Another supporter frames the effort not only in humanitarian terms but as a political statement.
Porque hay que combatir a la actual jefatura de los Estados Unidos que quiere acabar con Cuba también después que ha hecho lo que ha hecho, aquel atropello contra cualquier derecho internacional en Venezuela, ahora en Irán, también quiere terminar con la revolución cubana.
Organizers are clear that this operation draws on the ethos of past international flotillas, like the Global Sumud missions aimed at challenging blockades and standing in solidarity with beleaguered communities, even if the routes and targets differ. While governments debate policy and blockade measures continue to impact Cuba's economy, activists hope their mission will deliver more than just aid, but also a message of global solidarity with those they say are suffering under geopolitical pressure. This has been Faith Agustin, your citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
In other news, the establishment of the Department of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, or DFAR, is being pushed in the Senate. Here are the full details in the report of Sheena Torno.
Senate Minority Leader Alan Peter Cayetano has called for the creation of a separate department for fisheries. This comes amid the declining fish production in the country. Under Senate Bill 417, he is proposing the establishment of a Department of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, or DFAR. Based on data, more than 45,000 metric tons of fish are lost annually. This poses a serious threat to the country's food supply. The Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, or BFAR, is also facing challenges. Its workforce has been reduced by 28%. The fisheries sector also remains among the poorest in the country, based on the data from the Philippine Statistics Authority and the Department of Social Welfare and Development. Because of this, Senator Cayetano emphasized the need for major reforms in the fisheries sector. Under the proposal, the DFAR will be responsible for crafting policies and regulations for the fisheries sector, It will also function as a separate agency from the Department of Agriculture, which currently focuses on land-based farming. The proposal also aims to strengthen the fight against illegal fishing. It seeks to streamline government offices to improve service delivery to fisherfolk. The measure includes consolidating the functions of B4, the Philippine Fisheries Development Authority, and the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR, under D4 to avoid overlapping roles. Cayetano stressed the need for a dedicated agency for the fisheries sector, especially since the Philippines is surrounded by seas and other bodies of water. For God and for my beloved Philippines, this has been Sheena Torno, SMNI News.
Up next, from conflict to innovation, China is transforming its highlands with a massive infrastructure project. A new high-altitude bridge and tunnel networks now links remote villages to major hubs. The project is boosting trade and drawing tourism. Meanwhile, the K-pop world is celebrating a massive comeback. BTS returned to the stage in Seoul, drawing global crowds. The reunion kicks off a new world tour and a social media surge. And finally, the global fuel crisis has hit the sports world. The Pakistan Super League will open without fans. Organizers cite fuel shortages linked to the US-Iran conflict. Newsline World will be back after the break.
Isang pindot lang, pwede kang maka-jackpot. Mukhang masaya at easy money lang. Sa murang halaga, pwede ka na tumaya sa online gambling at e-casino apps. Mayroong sabong, slot machines, mahjong, poker at iba pa. Kailangan mo lang ng smartphone, e-wallet at internet. Pero ang aliw na ito, unti-unting nagiging bitag para sa mga Pilipino. Lalo na kung ang paborito mong artista o influencer ang mukha ng app. Mas madaling makaengganyo, diba? Parang safe naman kasi may kilalang mukha. Pero sa likod ng ngiti, sugal pa rin ang itinutulak. At syempre, mas madali ring itago ang pagkalulong sa bisyong ito. Walang pisikal na kasino o pasugalan, walang kaharap, walang accountability, kaya't mas lumalala ang adiksyon. Dagdag pa rito, maraming online gambling apps at walang regulasyon. Sa likod ng mga makukulay na interface at papremyo, nakatago ang problemang bumabalot ngayon sa bansa. Ang pagkalulong ng maraming Pilipino sa online gambling. Pwede maglaro kahit saan, kahit kailan, kahit sino, bata man o matanda, pwedeng malulong. Ayon sa mga eksperto, ang pagkakalulong sa online gambling ay nagdudulot ng matinding stress at anxiety, pagkakabaon sa utang, pagkawasak ng pamilya, pagkawala ng tiwala sa sarili. At tulad ng ibang bisyo, may mga senyales ito tulad ng hindi makapagpigil kahit walang pera, palihim na tumataya, pagpapabaya sa trabaho, pamilya o sarili. Sa bawat taya, may mga taong tunay na kumikita, mga malalaking negosyante at investors na negosyo ang bisyo ng masa. Para sa kanila, perang pumapasok lang ito. Pero para sa ordinaryong Pilipino, kabuhayan at relasyon ang nauubos. At ang masakit, tila matagal itong nahayaan. Hindi ito naging prioridad ng mga nakaupo sa taas hanggang sa sobrang lumala at halos naapektuhan na ang buong komunidad. Ngayon, sa dami ng nalulong at sa laki ng pinsalang naidulot, sa kapalalong umugong ang mga panukalang batas para higpitan ng online gambling, gaya ng pagbabawal sa paggamit ng e-wallets para tumaya, pagtaas ng minimum bet, mas mahigpit na identity verification, pag-block ng mga illegal na gambling sites, at bawasan o ipagbawal ang mga ads na target ang kabataan. Maaari itong magmukhang laro lang, pero sa katotohanan, isa itong sugal sa kinabukasan. Ang kita na dapat sa mga pangunahing pangangailangan o ipon na uubos sa sugal. At sa mundo ng online gambling, mas madali kang matalo kaysa manalo. Huwag hayaang sugal ang magdikta sa iyong buhay. Isang paalala mula sa SMNI.
In latest sports, Great Britain National Athletics Indoor Championships, after capturing 3 gold medals in just 28 minutes, marking the country's most successful campaign in tournament, while Pakistan Super League will open its new season without spectators as the fuel crisis linked to the conflict involving United States, Israel, and Iran forces changes to the tournament's arrangements. More on this from Carlo de la Peña.
The medal surge began when Georgia Hunter Bell stormed to victory in the women's 1,500 meters, claiming her first global title with a time of 3 minutes and 58.53 seconds after overtaking Ethiopia's Berk Halam in the final lap. Moments later, pole vaulter Molly Cottery secured another gold for Britain after clearing 4.85 meters, reclaiming the world indoor title she first won 2 years earlier. The historic run continued when Olympic champion Keely Hodgkinson dominated the women's 800 meters final to capture her first world indoor crown. The triple triumph came a day after Josh Kerr won the men's 3,000 meters, giving Britain 4 gold medals overall and surpassing the nation's previous best of 3 gold set in 1999. Meanwhile, the 8-team T20 League set from March 26 to May 3 will proceed as scheduled, but under tighter restrictions following government measures to limit public movement amid fuel shortages. The disruption stems from tensions in the Gulf region that have affected shipments passing through the Strait of Hormuz, a vital route for global oil and gas transport. Mohsin Naqvi, chairman of the Pakistan Cricket Board, said the decision was made after Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif called for reduced mobility due to the ongoing energy shortage. As a result, matches will be staged only in Lahore and Karachi, while other host cities, Faisalabad, Multan, Rawalpindi, and Peshawar will no longer hold games. Tournament organizers also canceled the opening ceremony, though officials said franchises would be compensated for revenue losses caused by the absence of spectators. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Carlo de la Peña bringing you the latest sports news.
Global K-pop sensation BTS has made a powerful return, drawing massive crowds to Central Seoul for a highly anticipated comeback concert. Carla Abellana has the latest buzz.
Dubbed The Kings Are Back, the group's return shut down parts of Central Seoul as tens of thousands of fans gathered near the historic Gwanghwamun area. Millions more tuned in worldwide through a global live stream on Arirang TV, turning the concert into a truly international event. Fans from across the globe traveled long distances for the chance to see all 7 members perform together again.
We came from Russia and Belarus. It's actually the first concert when we're going to see all 7 of them. So yeah, we're pretty much excited. And actually I bought just my first army bomb, so even more excited about it. And yeah, we're really grateful for this opportunity to see them for free and near this location, near the palace. So yeah, thank you very much to the Seoul and the BTS.
Another fan highlighted the cultural significance of the venue and the group's performances.
First of all, the Gwanghwamun Palace, it's very beautiful, so it's like a culture statement, right? So the highlight could be maybe a performance of, I would love to see body-to-body performance, like the song, and also Swim, and maybe Microcosmos, because it's the song they've been promoting. And yeah, the performance in the overall, I just know it will be amazing.
From many, the concert marked a long-awaited first experience.
Yeah, I'm so excited about tonight just because we're gonna hear new songs live, and it's been 6 years for me, because I've never seen BTS live as a whole, although I've been a fan for like 67 years. So I'm very looking forward to it. It's gonna be really amazing. The venue is huge. It's never seen before, so yeah, it's gonna be so good.
The large-scale event not only showcased BTS' global influence, but also highlighted Seoul as a cultural hub capable of hosting world-class performances. As BTS returns to stage, their comeback is proving once again that their global fan base remains as strong and as passionate as ever. For God and My Beloved Philippines, Carla Abellana, SMNI News.
Meanwhile, more Filipino and Filipino-American talent is making waves in Hollywood, joining the cast of an upcoming animated feature from DreamWorks. Meanwhile, actress Brenda Song has publicly criticized Alaska Airlines, claiming the carrier disrupted a family trip with her fiancé Macaulay Culkin. Here's the latest updates. DreamWorks' highly anticipated animated movie Forgotten Island is adding a new layer of diversity to its star-studded lineup. According to a report, the latest additions include Filipino actress Dolly De Leon, Filipino-American comedian Joe Coy, actress Amelina Villera, and comedian-actor Ronnie Chang. The inclusion of these performers highlights the growing presence of Filipino and Filipino-American artists in mainstream Hollywood productions, bringing their unique voices and perspectives to global audiences. DreamWorks has not yet announced specific character roles, but fans are eagerly anticipating how these actors will bring the animated world of Forgotten Island to life. As Hollywood increasingly embraces diversity, Filipino and Fil-Am talent continues to secure high-profile opportunities on the international stage. In an Instagram story post over the weekend, Song, 37, said that the airline separated her and Culkin from their two young sons, Dakota, 4, and Carson, 3, despite having booked first-class seats together. She described the incident as frustrating and disappointing, expressing concern that her family's travel experience was unnecessarily disrupted. The actress highlighted that the family had intended to travel together in comfort, but said Alaska Airlines placed them in separate areas on the flight, leaving the young children apart from their parents. At this time, Alaska Airlines has not publicly commented on Song's claims. The incident has drawn attention on social media, sparking discussions about airline seating policies and experiences of family traveling with young children. Travelers at Hobart Airport got more wildlife than they bargained for when a real common bush-tail possum was discovered calmly sitting among stuffed animals in a gift shop. The pretend toy was convincing enough to pass as merchandise until it blinked. Stella Maris has the story.
According to reports from outlets like the Associated Press and The Guardian, the unexpected display item was first noticed by a customer who realized one of the plush toys appeared just a bit too alive. Subtle movements and a pair of very real, very judgmental eyes. Witnesses said the possum seemed completely at ease, nestled among toy kangaroos and Tasmanian devils, as if it had clocked in for a retail shift. Staff were initially skeptical because there's a real possum in aisle 3 isn't your average customer complaint, but quickly confirmed that this was no ordinary soft toy. Wildlife handlers were called in to safely remove the animal, which reportedly remained calm throughout the ordeal. Perhaps disappointed its undercover operation had been exposed. Authorities believe the possum may have slipped into the terminal through an unnoticed opening, though how it bypassed airport security remains a mystery. No injuries or disruptions were reported, and the possum was safely relocated. The gift shop, meanwhile, has not confirmed whether it plans to expand into interactive wildlife experiences. Experts agree this incident is unusual, but in Australia, not entirely surprising. This has been Stella Maris, your citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
A massive new infrastructure project in China is transforming daily life in a mountainous region while also drawing attention from tourists and around the world. Joy Tabanao has the story.
In the county of Wushan County, what is now being called the world's largest escalator is bridging the gap between rural communities and the city center. The large-scale system connects hillside neighborhoods to key urban areas, dramatically reducing travel time for residents. Locals say what used to be a long and physically demanding journey can now take as little as 20 minutes, making daily commutes, school trips, and errands far more convenient.
上班的话，现在就是20分钟能到上班。我们从下面的滨江路到祥云路，基本上只要10几分钟就能到了。然后上学孩子都很方便。
The escalator has quickly become a popular route, not just for residents, but also for visitors.
很多人来看的，也有很多人来走。就是现在大家都是选择坐电梯嘛，以前是走路的。现在老年人啊，像那些外地游客都会来这里打卡的，很多的。
Beyond convenience, locals are also highlighting the sense of community surrounding the project.
就是我们经常从滨江路上广场上去，经常我们上去玩的时候，这边的工作人员呢都挺好的。上次就有一个老年人吧，70多岁了，他走了一半的时候电梯故障了，结果工作人员把他背上去了，我也觉得很感动我们巫山人民的热情。
Operators say the escalator is now attracting tourists far across China and even overseas.
首先是吸引了很多外地的游客，各个地方的甘肃啊、广东呀、什么山西啊，各地的游客都来打卡，然后觉得还有很多外国人也来，然后很多外国人都说很惊奇，感觉很惊讶。
Officials say the project not only improves mobility, but is also helping boost tourism and local economic activity in this once hard-to-reach area. This has been Joy Debanao, your global citizen correspondent reporting for Newsline World.
And before we end, may you be inspired with the words of the sun. What your faith can conceive, you can achieve. And that's all for this edition of Newsline World. For God and my beloved country, the Philippines, I'm Andrea Santos. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
This is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.